You're in the best seat in the house on 7 Sport. Welcome back to Oran Park. That was John Bowe. He's vying for second. A man vying for third, and on pole position, Peter Brock. It's still a mathematical chance.
It is still a chance. Becoming slimmer as the moments tick by, but I really need Glenn to have a bit of a moment. But you can only get out there and just give it your best shot.
You must be ecstatic with the way these two vehicles are performing.
Yes, I am. I've got my friend Thomas Mazzero here today, who's missed out on driving this during 1996, and he's up there before watching this saying, boy, I'd love to be out there, because those cars are flying. They really are.
Peter, we wish you well. Peter Brock from pole position. There's plenty of challenges. Let's take a look at the top 10.
Alongside Brocky on the front row, guess who? Craig Lowndes. Second row, Glenn Seaton and Wayne Gardner.
Out of row 3, John Bowe and Mark Scaife in the Gibson Commodore. Alan Jones and Stephen Richards out of row 4.
And completing the top 10, Russell Ingall and Dick Johnson. It's cold at Oran Park, weather threatening, a few spots of rain falling, set to go. Heat 2, round 10, the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. Brock on pole, Lowndes, away they go. Good start for Brock. Lowndes just bogs down a little bit. Seaton comes through easily into second spot. Look at Gardner down the outside. John Bowe, Dick Johnson there's up the inside, trying to get a run there. Gardner posted out wide as they come in the turn. Brock, a brilliant start again.
Oh, a bit of fisticuffs there between John Bowe and Craig Lowndes. They both survived that corner, but it got pretty physical as they turned in there 3 wide, some of them. Turning through Coca-Cola Corner the first time under Dunlop Bridge, down towards Shell for the first time. Big pack of V8. You can see some of these windscreen wipers going. It is starting to spit rain here. Assume these cars are all on slick tyres, so it could get very, very interesting. Oh, a little nudge there from the Shell car of Bowe. Dick Johnson, meanwhile, his teammate in trouble. He's gone right to the back of the field. So plenty of aggression and bump and grind in this opening half a lap. We take race cam and the Ford Credit Racing Falcon up behind Peter Brock. Glenn Seaton, a good start too. Off the second row, wiper going. You can just see those spits of rain on the windscreen. Could play a crucial role in the result of this heat if it continues.
And at the moment, the rain wouldn't be bothering them so much with tyre grip. They'll be trying to get heat into their tyres so they got the grip. But the rain will be playing on their mind.
7's race cam, Dick Johnson. Let's see what happened to him on the first lap. Might have got a touch there, but he's off on the infield onto that grass. Better effort here off the start from John Bowe, who got shuffled right out of it in Heat 1, but he's making a good fist of this one. All over the back of Wayne Gardner's Coca-Cola Commodore as they come up onto the start-finish straight again.
Got a camera shake there as he's thundering V8's really close to the wall. Here comes Lowndes down the inside of Seaton. He's well positioned for this corner, but Seaton's going to go side by side with him, and Lowndes just pops a wheel up in the ripple strips. Enough room there to squeeze through. Seaton gives him racing room, but right up behind car 15 as Lowndes pushes his way through. Customary position. Saw this in Heat 1, right up behind Brock, now in Heat 2. Old Racing Team 1-2 at the front. Glenn Seaton in third position. Wayne Gardner now coming under increasing fire from John Bowe with Mark Scaife right up behind the Ford. Seager Holden race cam with Mark Scaife. Very busy at the wheel of the Gibson Motorsport Commodore right up behind Bowe. You can see how much the back of Bowe's car is working around there.
You certainly can, and you watch Scaife, who's being very, very smooth with this car at the moment. He turns in nice and gently, and you listen to him on the throttle, it's a nice squeeze. And Bowe is really bouncing all over the joint as he skips to the inside of the road there.
Meanwhile, further back in the pack, 8th, 9th, 10th position, Ingall, Richards and Alan Jones. Looking for a look at Richards down the inside.
He's going through.
See, he just locked up the rear brakes. They got all tight. He got off the brakes, but he was still on a set trajectory down the inside of the Castrol Holden. And Ingall has won out here. Alan Jones has taken advantage too. He's up the inside. So Jones runs side by side with Richards up toward the bridge, gets him. So Richards loses in that account. Let's have a look at that again on the replay.
Watch Richards' car jump around here. He's on the brakes. He's trying to pull it up. Nowhere to go. Touches the curb on the inside. Bang, into the side of Ingall. They're both flat on the throttle again now, trying to get to the next corner first.
Well, I think Steve's -1 driver's mirror there. Just the distance between him and the Castrol Commodore. Did well not to avoid a bigger impact than that. And both lived to survive and fight another day, but good aggressive driving from Stephen Richards. We take race cam in the Ford Credit Racing Falcon. This is third position. Glenn Seaton trying to close the gap. to the Holden Racing Team steamroller ahead of him. Very, very close under brakes as they come through Coca-Cola corner. He's really attacking here, Brad.
He certainly is. He's all over Lowndes. The drizzle's just gotten a little bit worse. Long way around there. I don't think that will be happening, but goes to the inside. Great drive by Glenn. This is the closest he's been to these two all day, and I really expected the two of them just to drive away from him, but to Glenn's credit, he's hung onto them and now harassing them.
It's interesting because Holden Racing Team out of their 8 tyres, they had a softer set and a harder set to choose from. Whoa, getting out of shape there. Gets it back onto the black stuff, and he's actually hasn't lost too much time. Oh, he may be in trouble. He went right over the middle of that ripple strip. There's all sorts of oil coolers and things hanging under these cars that can get easily damaged.
Well, I'm not sure that's so much what his problem will be. He'll have given himself a little bit of a scare, and he'll be trying to gather it all up. There's a little bit of drizzle there. The road's a little bit slippery, and his confidence has just been shot. So he doesn't have much time, but he needs to gather it up and get going again. We're looking at these three here. What a dice.
Yeah, well, Seaton's going to fall back into the clutches of this trio very shortly. If he doesn't watch it, Wayne Gardner under a big attack now from John Bow, lurking right behind the mark. Scape goes wide. No way there at that corner, obviously, at the bottom of the main straight.
Scape looking very competitive here as he has in the last 2 outings, getting closer and closer to the front of the pack.
Back at the front, Peter Brock continues to lead in 0-5. Craig Lowndes in second place. Seaton hanging on for third ahead of Wayne Gardner and John Bow.
Good damage here for Peter McLeod in the NZ Commodore. See his rear bodywork missing.
Oh, disaster for the former Bathurst winner. Field closing up at the front. Brock still leads from Lowndes and Seaton, but not far behind them now. We've got Wayne Gardner, John Bow and Mark Scaife.
Well, it's interesting, Holden Racing Team went for their choice of 8 tyres, 1 set of harder and 1 set of softer tyres. They could be running their harder set this time, which may explain why Seaton's a little bit closer to them. Conditions very cold, track damp. Tyres may not be at their ideal temperature. It's certainly helped him close the gap to the Holden Racing Team cars.
McLeod up and running again, about to get swamped by the leaders.
Peter Brock comes up behind the NZ Commodore. Gives them racing room as they sneak through on the outside over the dog leg.
Bad ball for Lowndes.
Lowndes got a little bit held up. Blue flags waving there. Warn that cars are trying to overtake. Seaton goes around the outside of the NZ car as they come onto the straight once again. And Gardner may take advantage here. I think Seaton was held up on the run out of the corner. Very, very close. As they go down the straight, here the engine's bouncing off the rev limiters just before they pull into 6th gear. 230 k's, braking hard down to about 180 k for that daunting sweeper. So Gardner maintaining the pressure in both his attack and his defence from John Bow.
Got to be good to stave off Bow when he's in this mood, as the current placings run across the bottom of the screen. Brock Lowndes, Seaton, Gardner, Bow.
Like last time around, the 3 Bridgestone runners were down in the 1 minute 9 second bracket. Everyone else behind them in the 10s. Could have been lap traffic playing into their hands there. But this leading 6 cars very close in lap times, and we're 10 laps into this 17 lap at past half distance. Take race cam. Larry Perkins, Castrol Commodore, he's running in 7th. Russell Engel in 8th, Alan Jones in 9th. You can see them working hard. They're bouncing over the ripple strips. I guess driving these cars, Bradley, they're 1.35 tonnes. They've got about 550 horsepower. They must be pretty physical things to drive. Very,
very physical cars to drive, especially at a place like Bathurst where you're in the car for an hour and a half or 2 hours. They everything happens so quickly in them. You're always changing gears, braking, turning, and as you said, it's hot in there, 55 degrees, very, very physical. A day like today, it's a little more pleasant, but it's definitely hard work being in there.
Larry Perkins started 12th position on the grid, and he's now up to 8th, 7th, in fact.
Alan Jones closing in. Russell Engel putting plenty of pressure here, looks down the inside.
Have a look at the damage there from the touch with Stephen Richards on the left-hand side of the car. It's all fairly flat.
Larry Perkins in 7th, Engel in 8th, Jones in 9th. Stephen Richards just climbing onto the back of this pack. Jones a little bit sideways under power as he tries to hang on to the back of the number 8 Castrol Commodore. Just talking about those temperatures, Alan Jones, you may notice running has been for the last few meetings, that full face helmet. An idea borrowed from John Bow with a cold air box. He's breathing cold air. straight into his face because the temperatures in these cars are so excessive.
Well, it's not just the temperatures, the fumes from the cars when you're in a close pack there makes it hard on your eyes and your breath. So if you can do anything at all to cool the body down or make the air fresh that you're breathing, it's a bonus.
Tony Longhurst in the Castrol Falcon moves up 11th position, right behind Richards, just outside the top 10. Tony experimenting with a couple of new Yokohama constructions and compounds this weekend. No better way to test them than put them in race trim. And he's been quite impressed with the consistency of the Yokohama product the last few races, and very confident about his chances in the Enduros to come. Alan Jones up behind Engel, who's up behind Perkins. 5 of them in a row.
Gardner's just slightly skipping away from Bow in these now that the conditions have stabilised, and I'd say JB's fairly busy, looking at him running a little bit in the middle of the road there, trying to keep Scaife behind him. He's not well today, he's a bit crook, and doing a great job to be going as well as he is.
Bit of Delhi belly on top. So JB not feeling 100%. Keep in mind too, after that horrific crash at Phillip Island, he drove a number of the rounds with lacerated kidneys. He had a kidney belt on. He was in a fair bit of pain.
Well, he's still got the kidney belt on today, but probably not just as tight.
So he's had a hard job, and it's not over yet because Mark Scaife, the Sega Commodore, is really applying the pressure. There's the NZ Commodore. Peter McLeod in trouble again. Boy, oh boy. He's not having a...
He's got something in his hand there.
It's like the drink straw, isn't it?
Bottle or something.
Anyway, he's getting out. He's had enough.
Gear stick, I'd say he's broken the gear stick. That's what it looks like.
Dear, oh dear.
Wow, here we have a look at Scaife. You watch him pull the lock on with the steering wheel there. Gee, it's so close to the wall. Grabs another gear. Into 5th.
15 laps completed, 2 to go for our race leader.
I was mesmerised looking in the rearview mirror there as the car whipped around the top corner with the wall and the huge crowd in the background. All over the back of John Bower. As we go back to the leaders, and the veteran Peter Brock in front, and 30 years his junior, but the reigning touring car champion Craig Lowndes in 2nd place.
Incredible, isn't it? The speed that Brock's had this year. He still hasn't managed to win a race all season. It'll be a long time since that happened until he got to Oran Park today. So it was a nice way to finish the year for him. But he's got a bigger job ahead of him early in October. That's the one he's really focusing on in the next few months as he goes for his 10th Bathurst victory.
And as you said earlier, he's got Thomas Mazzera here, his co-driver, poking around. Thomas has been testing the car in the last couple of weeks and is very, very happy with the way it's going, and feels like we're a real chance up at the mountain this year, and who wouldn't think that? Have a look how dominant they are at the moment.
After that problem they had at Bathurst last year with head gaskets, both cars out within the first 30 laps of the race. It's the lowest point in their history, and they certainly want to make up for it in 1996.
Last lap, heat 2 of this final round of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship, and Rocky continues to do it strong up front from Lowndes. Going back with Mark Scaife as we take Seven's race cam again. He's all over the back of John Bower, stuck here on the outside.
Go to the inside, no, a bit opposite lock there. Watch the steering wheel work. This is sensational.
Hear the tyres skidding there. Yeah, everything. Trying getting past Bower. Come off the bridge for the final time, down through Foster's Dip. And he got a few options up his sleeve now. But John Bower is a master at driving this conservative line. He won't
fought battle for 4th and 5th, but up front it's going to make no difference to Peter Brock as he lines it up for the checkered flag coming out of this corner. Craig Lowndes right on his hammer. It's another 1-2 for the Holden Racing team as they go down to the wire, with Peter Brock just taking the victory ahead of Lowndes. And it's been a great performance by these two all season, but a great effort by Peter Brock to come back here in the final round.
Yes, indeed. A Holden Racing team 1-2. Glenn Seaton hung on for 3rd. Wayne Gardner in 4th, and John Bower was in 5th position.
6th position falls to Mark Scaife, then Larry Perkins and Russell Ingall for Castrol. Both Alan Jones in 9th position, and Tony Longhurst finished 10th.